Well, hi everyone, welcome back to the channel once again. As you can see, we're in the countryside. What we're doing today is going through to Kutapaponga for the night, and I thought while we're up there I'll show you my setup for camping. I've been asked by a few people, so I'll show you what I've got and how I do my stuff. It's not a blueprint or a template, but might give you a couple of ideas. There's a couple of things I wanted to do, but I think we've just had a week of wet weather, so they'll be off the cards. One of them was going into the Twin Lakes, and going for a little walk into there to show you those, which are pretty interesting. And the other was to go to the centre of the North Island. But I would be thinking that at the moment, after all the rain, that will be a four-wheel drive track only. I wouldn't be able to get old Esther in there, so that'll be the summertime as well. So it gives us a bit to look forward to. Okay, we're just coming up onto the turn-off now on the Napier Taihape Road. So I'll get back to you in a minute. There we are, back into the Karweka Forest Park officially, and nice to be back. And there's Lawrence Road, that takes you down to the river, and there used to be cabin down there too. I hope that they've pulled that down, but you can camp there. So that means we're only about 15 minutes away from the Oxbow. Yeah, a bit of a decent washout there. There's been a couple further back too. And there's another one there. That guy wasn't doing 30 k's. Oh, well, who am I to preach? And there's the first glimpse of the campground of the Oxbow. And just the side of that green patch of grass there is the part of the Cameron car park. Okay, so the campsite is clear, no one else in. Doesn't look like there's been someone here for a little while either, which is good. So what I'm going to do is rig my tarp up in here between this manuka just sitting over here and probably this one up here. Nice little flat spot here for the coffin, and that should be home sweet home for the night. Put it up, wind it around a couple of times. Alright, put it through, and that just locks on, and that won't go anywhere, but you can shift it across. Okay, now the thing is, if we plug it up through a hole here, side of your tarp, whatever you've got to put it on, put a stick through it, and that's not going to go anywhere, as blokes say when they tighten up on a trailer. Okay, one of the knots I use quite a bit actually is called a snap bowline. Now there's easy ways or some ways of doing a bowline. I find this for me is the easiest. So I'll give you a bit of a look at what I do. To some of you this is like teaching granny how to suck eggs, but for some of you it might be an easy way of doing things. Okay, so what I do is, okay, you've got your working end and you've got your static end and your static end. So from your static end, put a loop over the top, just like that, and then come through underneath it with another one. So you've got them sitting like that. Then on your working end, put it through that loop you put up the top, bring it around and hang on to it. And then when you pull this end here, the knot goes up over the top and there's your bowline. Okay, I hope that makes sense. I'll do it again for you later on. But that really works quite well for me and very easy to undo as well. Okay, so what we've got is over the top, come through underneath, get your working end, poke it through, and then just pull it. And then this will just snap over the top of it. There's your snap bowline. Right, simple, isn't it? Okay, so as you can see, the tarp's all up in position. It's quite big. In fact, it's a bit bigger than I need, but that's what we've got to work with. And there's another tarp just down on the floor there now, on the ground. Seeing the ground is quite damp, I'll put it down, and I'll put the tent over that, but I'll also spread it out a bit more, so I've got something to kneel on. I'm not going to get wet and messy and all the rest of it. I carry 3 tarps with me, one for over the top, one for under the tent, and I've got one to cover the trike with, or the bike, whichever I'm riding. Right, so here's the camp layout. I just parked Esther just in a little bit and I'll get her covered shortly. I'll just let her cool down a bit more. And nice setup for the camp. Pity we won't stay another couple of days, but that's no problem. For a setup and breakdown, the coffin is good. And for some of you who missed one of my other videos, the reason I call it the coffin because there's only room for one body in there and a little bit of gear, not a great deal, but it's a good little tent. I've had it for quite a while now. Get a cup of tea going very shortly, and haven't had lunch, so I'll grab a energy bar or something and then go for a walk. Okay, just past the scrub there, there's Mountain Kurapaponga, or Mount Kurapaponga. Some people call it a mountain, some people just call it a hill, but a great piece of geography it is. Oh, there's a bait trap up there. Oh, very good. Let's hope they catch a few of the little varmints. Oh, there's the river. Sure if you can see it through the branches there. Now it's looking pretty good for the amount of rain we've had. This is running pretty full though. And I brought water with me this time, so I don't have to go down there and see it firsthand. Now today's verse comes from the book of Psalms, chapter 9, verse 1. And that says, I will praise you, O Lord, with all my heart. I will tell of all your wonders. Someone's had a couple of really good bonfires going here. The cans and stuff have been burned, broken glass. You know, that sort of thing is really terrible. And unfortunately I don't have the facilities to pick it up and take it away with me. But if you're going to come out and do that, then don't come. We've got a beautiful country. We don't need you leaving it like a garbage dump. Okay, rant over. Well, it looks like we've got the place to ourselves. There's the car park with the track down to the river. Don't know what's wrong with people, you know. Just because it's cold and it's a bit wet. Not like it was in the old days, I tell you. And there, I'm not sure if you can pick it up, is the camp. Well, the evening is drawing in. And I'm not sure how well the stove is going to go. The wood is pretty damp. But we'll see how we go. So there we go. It's about 7:30 and we're down to 6 degrees. So I think we could be in for a cold one tonight. Okay, so there's tonight's supper. Corn, a couple of eggs put into it and beaten in. I'm looking forward to it. Well, hi everyone. As you can see, it's pretty dark. Someone's turned the lights out in the sky, so I've had my tea, very nice, just having a cup of tea, and I've done the dishes, so I might sit up for a little while longer. There's a couple of stars starting to come out. There's been a bit of cloud around though. I'm hoping we might be able to get some star shots tonight, but we'll see how we go. Not holding my breath on it. I'll set my alarm for about 11 o'clock or midnight and see what's happening then. In the meantime, I'll say good night. See you in the morning. Well, good morning. It's a cool and misty morning here at Kutapapungo. We're looking at 3 degrees minus, so 3 degrees minus Celsius, so it's a bit of a chilly start. But still a beautiful morning. The sun's just starting to try and beat its way through the fog. So it's going to be a beautiful day. So breakfast this morning is bacon and eggs. Nothing better on a frosty morning. So there we go, the finished product. I'll tuck into those and come back to you shortly. Okay, that's breakfast done. Nice it was too. Still having a cup of tea. The temperature's risen. It's now 1 degree into the positive, which is good. and it will improve. Absolutely stunning blue sky, not a cloud anywhere up there. So just sitting here having my breakfast, and I was thinking about a friend of mine, Franco. Shout out to you, Franco. How are you, mate? Franco and I were going to look at doing some camping, bit of riding this last summer. And of course, Cyclone Gabrielle and the cancer thing got in the way, and now Franco's got quite a bad back injury. So hopefully he'll come right off that. He's waiting on surgery at the moment. But this is where we'll be, buddy. We'll spend the night out here because about 2 kilometres that way is the Gentle Annie. I know you haven't ridden that and you'd really like to. So we can do that and then carry on from there. So get well, mate. Right, what we've got now is we'll just have a quiet pack down. There's no rush. So I'll just mosey along and do that and then get on the road. First obstacle is the Gentle Annie, and in conditions like this, ice is my biggest concern going over there. Well, as it turned out, that wasn't the biggest worry of the day. Packed up, got ready to roll, and Esther decided to have a hissy fit. Maybe she didn't like me sleeping in the tent in a nice warm sleeping bag, and she was outside with the tarp over her, but she wouldn't start, and then when she did, she ran really rough. So instead of carrying on with the trip, it was actually going to be a 3-day trip, I headed for home. The last thing I needed to do was to have a breakdown in the back country. So discretion was the order of the day, and brought her home. She was a bit rough all the way through. I started her up the next morning and she was running good as gold, so I think there's a bit of moisture or something, a bit of gremlin in the works. And so there we are. Not quite going to plan, but it was a great trip. Really enjoyed it. Had to prove to myself that I could still get out there and camp, even if it was the early winter. Yes, I can. So all I can say now is thanks for watching. Don't forget to ride free, and of course, God bless.